purchased this Lodge cast iron skillet about a month ago, and so far I have really enjoyed cooking in it. But there are a few important things to know about cast iron and this pan in particular, so I'm going to go over those now. The first one being is that this one is the listed size is 10.25 inches. Now that means the rim to rim size, not the cooking surface size. So the cooking surface size is closer to 8 inches. So if you're trying to decide what size to get, just know the size listed is based on the rim, not the actual bottom surface cooking area. Now the other thing is that these pans, they heat up completely, which is one of the great features about them. But these handles, if you need to pour or pick it up or move it when it's cooking, they are going to get hot. So you're going to need to use oven mitts, or you can get silicone covers to go over them. It also has these great pour spouts on either side if you need to drain liquid or whatever you're cooking. You want to pour some out while you're cooking. Again, the handles are going to be hot, but they have these great pour spouts, so it's not going to dribble over the side. It's going to pour nice and smooth. One thing I really like about these Lodge cast iron pans is that they are made in America, and it says it right there on the bottom, so I always love to support American businesses. One of the great qualities about cast iron is that it just puts this really nice crisp on your food. So particularly like steaks is a great example. The other pans that I own are stainless steel pans, and I do really like to cook in those. But when you do a steak or any kind of food that you want a nice crisp around, in the cast iron pan, it just really has a different effect. Or you want to do like a blistered pepper or bacon, or I make a homemade chicken nuggets that just get really nice and crispy in here. It just has a different quality in the cast iron pan, and as long as you heat up the pan correctly, it's not going to stick, which is great. I really like making caramelized onions in my cast iron pan because it just gets that really nice glaze all over it. You do it nice and slow. It takes a long time, but it's so worth it. Now, the most important and probably most controversial thing about cast irons is how you take care of them and how you clean them. I'm going to tell you how I do it and what works for me to keep my cast iron clean and working correctly. So after I use the cast iron, what I do is I immediately wash it, and I do use soap. Now, I use a natural soap that's not super abrasive and tough, and I do use a tough scrub. You can also scrubber. You can also get these kind of chainmail scrubbers, which I have used in the past, but I haven't gotten for this one yet. But those work really well as well if you ever get some food really stuck on there. So you want to scrub off all the food completely, and then don't just air dry it. You want to dry it, or what I do is I dry it with a paper towel or a clean rag, and I get it completely dry. And then what I do is I put it back on the stove, and I add about a teaspoon of oil. I like to use coconut oil, but you can really use whatever oil you choose. And I rub it all over the entire pan, and I turn the heat on the stove, the flame on, and I let it heat up. Not to the point where it's smoking, but I want it to heat up and kind of reabsorb back into the pan and add back in that layer of seasoning. So I re-season my pan every time after I use it. And the more you use your pan and the more you season it and the more you cook things like steaks and meat, it's just really building in that nice flavor. And as long as you scrub it really well, it's not building up food particles, because that's gross in my opinion, but it's just building in that nice flavor. That's what's a unique and really special feature about the cast iron. You just have to keep the cleaning up correct.